All right, so if you're a dog owner in Glastonbury, Connecticut, this one's for you. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find the absolute best trainer for your dog so you two can build an amazing partnership. Living in Glastonbury is pretty great for dog owners. I mean, think about it. You can be out on the Hop River State Park Trail or just taking a casual stroll down Main Street. And in all those situations, having a calm, well-behaved dog by your side just makes everything, well, better. It's more fun, way less stressful, and really, that's what it's all about, right? Okay, so first things first. Before you even start looking at names, you have to understand a trainer's philosophy. Seriously, this is the bedrock of it all. It shapes how they're going to teach your dog, and more than that, it shapes the kind of relationship you and your dog are going to have. So what you'll see with most modern qualified trainers is a method called positive reinforcement. And don't worry, it's not some complicated theory, it's actually really simple. You reward the behavior you want to see. That's it. You use things like treats or praise or a favorite toy to say, yes, that's what I want. And the reason it works so well is because it makes your dog want to learn, and it really does build a solid foundation of trust between you. But what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it's you giving your dog a treat for a nice, calm sit when someone comes to the door. It's that happy praise you give when your dog walks right beside you on the leash instead of pulling your arm off. It's making training feel like a fun game with a tug toy. See? Every single one of those little interactions adds up and strengthens that bond you have. All right, so now that you know you're looking for someone who uses positive methods, how do you find a truly qualified pro? Because let's be honest, you have to look past the flashy website and get to what really matters, their actual expertise and credentials. And the very first thing to look for, professional certifications. These are a big deal. They're not just some random letters after a trainer's name. They mean that person has gone through serious education, they've passed tough exams, and they've promised to keep learning because, our understanding of dog behavior is always getting better. So which one should you be on the lookout for? Well, for general obedience and manners, two of the top ones are KPA-CTP, that's from the Karen Pryor Academy, and CPDT-KA. Now, if you're dealing with something more complex, like serious fear or reactivity, you'll want to look for specialists. That's where certifications like those from the IAABC or the CBCCKA come in. They show a much deeper level of expertise in behavior. Okay, next up, the format. You'll basically see two main options, group classes or private lessons. And which one is right for you really depends on your dog and your goals. Group classes, they're amazing for socialization, and your dog gets to practice focusing on you with other dogs around. Plus, they're usually easier on the wallet. But private lessons are where you get a plan tailored just for you. Perfect for tackling those in-home problems, like, going crazy when the doorbell rings or jumping all over your guests. Now for the nuts and bolts. Let's talk about what you can expect to pay for training here in Glastonbury, and also cover some of the local rules that every dog owner should be aware of. So just to give you a ballpark figure, if you're looking at a single 1-hour private lesson in the Glastonbury area, you can expect it to be somewhere in this $100 to $180 range. It's a good baseline to have in mind as you start your research. And here's a wider look at the costs for different kinds of programs. You can see that a 6-week group class for either a puppy or for basic obedience is pretty reasonable. If you go for a package of private lessons, the cost per session usually comes down, which is a great value. And then you have board and train programs. These are much more intensive and, as you can see, a much bigger financial commitment, but they can be a good option for some very specific, significant training goals. Moving on to the local rules. And this one's the big one. In Glastonbury, your dog has to be on a leash and under your control in all public areas. The only exception is if you're in a place that's specifically marked as an off-leash dog park. It's really just about safety for everyone. Next up, this one's not just a Glastonbury thing, it's a Connecticut state law. Every single dog over 6 months of age must have a current rabies vaccination. It's a really important public health rule, and you'll need to show proof of that shot to get your dog licensed. And speaking of licensing, that's the third rule to know. The town of Glastonbury requires you to license your dog every year once they're over 6 months old. You just do it through the town clerk, it's pretty straightforward, and helps make sure all the dogs in town are registered and have their shots. Okay, so you've started turning, now for the fun part. Where can you actually go to practice everything you're learning? This is where all that effort starts to pay off, and you can really get out and enjoy Glastonbury with your pup. Each of these spots gives you a different kind of real-world practice. For example, Riverfront Park is awesome for working on polite leash walking when there are joggers and cyclists whizzing by. If you want to work on focus when there are a million new smells, you've got to check out the trails at Cotton Hollow Preserve. And if you're ready to practice off-leash skills, Wickham Park, just a short drive away, has a fantastic, fenced-in dog park that's perfect for that. So there you have it. You know what to look for in a training method, what certifications matter, what the costs are, and what the local rules are. Now it's time to put all that knowledge to work and make a great choice for you and your dog. And here's your cheat sheet for when you start making calls. I want you to ask every single potential trainer these 5 questions. Their answers are going to be so revealing. Really listen to how they talk about their philosophy, and definitely ask how they track progress. A good pro will have solid, clear answers for all of these. No problem. And it's so true. Taking the time to find the right person isn't just about getting your dog to sit or stay. It really is about making your life together better. It's about having a happier dog and, honestly, a much less stressed you. It's an investment that pays off every single day. Just imagine it for a second. Those calm, easy walks at Riverfront Park, or bumping into a neighbor on Main Street and having your dog greet them politely. That's what this is all about. Good training doesn't just teach commands. It opens up your whole world so you and your dog can enjoy everything Glastonbury has to offer together. I hope this helps you find the perfect training partner to get you there. Happy training!